let's try that again. All right, so today we're starting chapter 3. We're going to start working in 2 variables instead of 1, okay? So the ones you most commonly use are x and y, okay? And so you're going to be asked to do a couple things with them. So here's an example of what you're going to see. So you might be given an equation like 9x plus 2y equals 15. And you're going to want to solve for the variable y, or it'll tell you whatever variable they want you to solve for. So you're going to subtract the 9x from both sides. You get 2y equals negative 9x plus 15. And then you divide everything by 2. So you get y equals negative 9 halves x plus, let's just leave it as a fraction, 15 over 2. Or you can write y equals negative 9x plus 15 over 2. Either of these is fine. It just depends really what you're using it for. Okay, if you're using it for graphing, or if you're just using it for plugging numbers in, or if they're asking you to like list as pairs, okay? So on some of the problems in the book, they're going to give you a domain, okay? Domain is going to be the letters they want, or the numbers they want you to use for x. And you're going to plug those numbers in for x and figure out what they come out as for y, okay? So let's say they want you to use the numbers negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to show the work in this middle step, and then we're going to spit out a value over here. Do you need to do this middle work? Some people do, some people don't. Some people can't do it all in their head, and so they need to write it down. Some people can do it all in their calculator or all in their head. It's just kind of up to you, okay? So for the first one, negative 1, we're going to plug it in here. And you can plug it in here or here, but I'm going to use the second one. So I'm going to say negative 9 times negative 1 plus 15 over 2. So negative 9 times negative 1 is positive 9. 9 plus 15 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So if you're asked to list your pairs, you're going to say negative 1, 12. That would be the first point, right? Okay. For the next one, we're going to plug in 0. So we'll have negative 9 times 0 plus 15 over 2. So 0 plus 15 is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. You can write it as a fraction or a decimal. If it doesn't specify in the directions, you can choose which one you like better. So you write your second pair as 0, 7.5. Right? Now let's plug in positive 1. So we're going to say negative 9 times 1 plus 15 over 2. I'm running out of room. So negative 9 plus 15, that's 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And so your next ordered pair is 1, 3. Now let's plug in positive 2. So we have negative 9 times 2 plus 15 divided by 2. I got negative 1.5. So the fourth coordinate pair is 2, negative 1.5. And let's just do one more. So negative 9 times 3 plus 15 over 2. I got negative 6. So the last one is 3, negative 6. Okay. Any questions on example number 1? No? We're good? Okay, awesome. Let's try one more like that. Example number 2. We have 6x minus 1/2 y equals 3. So to solve for our y, we're going to subtract 6x from both sides. Yes. And that leaves us with negative 1/2 y equal to negative 6x plus 3. That y is being multiplied by negative 1/2, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1, or just 2. And I'm going to make it a negative, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And I want it to be positive. So I'm going to put a negative 2 out front on that side. So over here, it's going to cancel, right? Leaving us with positive y. Over here, we need to distribute. So negative 2x negative 2 times negative 6x is 12x. And negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So let's do a little t-chart. So we're going to plug in some numbers for x, spit out some y. If you want to show the work, put it in the middle. So the numbers, we're going to do a little less this time. Let's just do negative 1, 0, and 2. So that'll give us a good idea of what that line's going to look like. So when we plug in negative 1, we have 12 times negative 1 minus 6 more. So negative 12 minus 6 more is negative 18. So that point is negative 1, negative 18. Oops. There, now we go. Let's see it better. 0 is always usually the easiest one, right? Anything times 0 is 0, minus 6 more, so negative 6. So that one you might be able to do in your head. And then 12 times 2, minus 6 more. So 12 times 2 is 24. 24 minus 6 is 18. All right, any questions on example number 2? All right, let me move that up and you'll see it in just a second, in case you need it. All right, example number 3 is a word problem. It says a customer asks a bank teller for $390 in traveler's checks. Some are worth $50 and some are worth $20. Find all the possibilities for the number of each type of traveler's check the customer could receive. How many of you know what a traveler's check is? Right? This book is so old. This is like way before your time, almost before my time. That's how old this book is. So a traveler's check is what they used to give to people at the bank if they were traveling internationally. So if you were like going to Europe or wherever, you would get these traveler's checks in place of your money just in case you lost it. And in order for you to use them, you would have to sign them. It was like this really bizarre thing. But now you have credit cards and people just carry cash or whatever. So traveler's checks they've really just done away with them. But there is this thing called traveler's checks. And the thing you need to know about traveler's checks is that they just come in certain amounts. So if you went to a store and something was $45, you would give a $50 traveler's check, and they would give you change in dollars. They wouldn't give you another traveler's check worth $5. They would just give you your change as $5 cash. Okay? All right. So we've got $390 total. And these are in traveler's checks. And they have exact amounts. And so some of them are $50 and some of them are $20. So we'll have F be the $50 ones and we'll have T be the $20 ones. And we want to know what combinations of these amounts can get you to your 390 exactly. Okay? So we're going to need 50 times F plus 20 times T is going to be equal to 390 total exactly. Okay? So on this one, we're going to first solve for t. So let's subtract the 50f. Say 20t equals negative 50f plus 390. Divide everything by 20. And we get t equals, I'm going to reduce this. 20 goes into 50, negative 50, negative 2.5 times. And then 20 goes into 390, 19.5 times. Bless you. Try those on your calculator if you need to. Okay. So we're going to try the possibilities. Okay. So for f, let's say we try some different numbers and see if it'll even work, okay? So f is 50s, t is going to be our 20s. If we have 0 50s, can we have 20s only that are going to add up to $390? No. So 0 isn't even a possibility. Okay? What if we have 120? Sorry, 150. How many 20s will we have? So if we have 150, that's going to get us down to 340, right? And then how many times does 20 go into 340? 17 times. So this is one possible combination. All right, let's try 2. If we have 2 50s, how much is that? $100. So can we have 20s getting up to 290? Nope. So can anybody tell me something about even numbers? They're not going to work, right? So 4 wouldn't work, 6 wouldn't work, 8 wouldn't work, right? Because you can't have an even amount of 50s and still have the 20s turn out to be exact, okay? Let's try 3 50s. 3 50s is how many? How much money? 150. So you subtract 150 from the 390, that puts you at? Okay. And then divide that by 20. I got 12. So that's your second possibility. Now let's try 5s. So 5 50s is how much? $250. Subtract that from the 390. What does that put you at? 140. So how many 20s are you going to have? 7. Yep, that's possible. We know 6 doesn't work. If you have 7 50s, how much money is that? 350, right? So if you subtract 350 from 390, what does that leave you with? 40, so that's how many 20s? 2. What if we try 9? 9 50s gets you to 450, so that's too high. So our possibilities are 1 and 17, 3 and 12, 5 and 7, and 7 and 2. These are the only possibilities. And that's it. Okay, so let's look on your assignment sheet for a second. Is it just me, or is it like super hot in here all of a sudden? Okay.